Thank you and welcome to the show this morning. The topic this morning is the computer, the internet, and web page design, as well as the digital divide. And of course, we're fortunate to have with us this morning to talk about the computer, the internet, and the digital divide, Mr. DCollier. Mr. Collier is the co-owner and founder of NashvilleBlack.com. And of course, with Mr. Collier is Mr. NPerry3, who is in the Department of Hospitality and Tourism at Tennessee State University, as well as a webmaster. And of course, Mr. Collier and Mr. Perry, let me welcome both of you to the show this morning.
Good to be here.
Good to be here.
And I think, as we tried to indicate, what we would like to do this morning is to get from the two of you. Both of you are well known in terms of your internet experiences and et cetera, and I think that you are both classified as webmasters, and therefore you should have quite a bit of information for us this morning. And we've had an opportunity to recognizing the importance of the computer to talk to both of you before in reference to some of these items. And so I think that what we have here today is the making of what I consider to be an excellent show. But before we get into that, Mr. Perry and Mr. Collier, let's start off with you, Mr. Collier, by having you to give us some information about your background, your education, and some of the your experiences. And of course, Mr. Perry will give us information in reference to his background, education, and experiences. And then we'll talk about the computer in preparations to talk about some of the other things that we've mentioned this morning. We'll start with you, Mr.
Okay,
Collier.
I'm from Nashville, and I attended Whites Creek High School. From there, I went to LaSalle University, where I received my bachelor's degree in business administration. I've been an entrepreneur now for about 11 years. So I have been out there trying to, you know, experience life and trying to make it on my own. So it's been tough, but we've made it through with NashvilleBlack.com. We've been up almost a year now, and we're growing strong, averaging around 25,000 hits a month, and we're growing. So I'm very satisfied.
Very good. Mr. Perry?
Well, I was born here in Nashville, but I wasn't raised here. I was raised in Virginia. I went to school at Virginia State University in Petersburg, Virginia, graduated in '84, and from there I went straight into the military, where I was an armor officer and wound up being a quartermaster officer and a recruiting officer, that's where I gained most of my computer experience from. Right now I am at the Hospitality and Tourism Administration Office at Tennessee State University, and just currently working on some web pages and training for a food school service training program over the internet.
Very good. And of course, as we said earlier, we've had an opportunity to talk to both of you about the computer and the internet and the web page designs and other things. And we hope that you don't take that as an opportunity to hold back on the information, believing that somehow you've said this before and that everything that you've said everybody should know. And I don't think that that's the case in terms of dealing with the computer. And so let's start this show off dealing with the computer, the internet, and the digital divide. That's a very, very popular kind of word today, and we want to put some meaning to that. Let's start that off by dealing with the computer itself. Let's talk about the computer, Mr. Collier. And of course, Mr. Perry will join us as the conversation develops.
Well, the technology with computers is changing every day. Right now, we're dealing with, myself dealing with a PC. I'm dealing with Windows Millennium Edition, and now Windows is getting ready to launch a new software product, XP, Windows XP. So technology, as far as with the computer, is changing on a daily basis. So fast computers, broadband connections, that's the wave of the future. Wireless. That's where we're headed.
And so, let's look at it from the very, very beginning, Mr. Perry, in terms of how we became all involved in this computer thing, this new age of technology.
Well, you'd think that the internet has been around just recently, like maybe the mid-'90s, but it's been around since 1960. And so it's had a wide use by the government as far as transferring data back and forth. So it's been around, it's just that it's recently starting to get its hands into the public domain there. And and people are starting to find out that they can work for them. It can actually earn them the extra cash. It can actually make entrepreneurs overnight very rich. And people are just starting to get their hands involved in it. And that's why you see that it's a new item that's out there, or new services that's out there, and everybody's trying to get into it. But it's kind of hard because people are afraid of the computer, trying to get the technology down, afraid that they're going to make a mistake on the computer. So these things help hinder people from actually learning something on the.
And I was going to say that one of the most important things, like he was saying, people being afraid of making mistakes on the computer. I crashed 3 or 4 computers, and that's the reason why that's how my knowledge came about learning about computers. I have made mistakes, and I had to work my way through them to get where I am today.
And so the two of you are saying is that there's this fear that many people have of the computer, and of course I don't think that it has that much to do with in terms of the social status of individuals or the professional status of individuals. Both of you agree that a person might be of very, very high social, political, economic status, and at the same time that person might have a morbid fear of the computer. And well, now how would you suggest that they might be able to overcome that as a problem? That is that very, very intelligent people who, for whatever reason, have not really taken advantage of the computer. What would you say to them, Mr. Perry, in terms of how to overcome?
Well, each computer comes with games on it, whether it's solitaire or wind mine. The best way to get a feeling of your mouse, play a game. And sometimes you get wrapped up in that game, and before you realize it, you're working that mouse around and you're hitting these buttons as if it was something you've done a long time. So games, I would say, would be one way of overcoming that fear.
And also, the computers today come with a good tutorial program, so don't be afraid to hit the F1 help button at any point. So.
And so what you're saying is that the opportunities are available, but first of all, people have to overcome a self-fear or self-doubt that they have. And even those individuals who are probably watching us this morning, who are well off and might have a lot of knowledge and information, still might have, are we saying still might have that fear? And so both of you are suggesting that they overcome that first by perhaps becoming involved in games. Very good. Now, when we talk about the computer, we also then bring into play this internet, you see, because I think that one of the most important things about the computer is that it does allow you access to what we call the internet. Let's talk about the internet. Let's start off, Mr. Perry, and then we'll...
Well, again, I said that the internet's been around for a long time, but recently we're just starting to get involved in it, and there are very many success stories over it, as well as very many failure stories in the internet business. But I think that it's up to what you want it to do for you. You have to do your research. You have to do your marketing, see what it is that you actually want to do on this, and then make some kind of plan as far as what do you want the internet to do. Some people just want to be able to research and find information on. So it's what it will do for you.
And so, Mr. Collier, over the last half minute that we have here, we're saying that but the internet can do a lot of things for people.
It can do a lot of things. Like I said, the research that you can get off the internet is just unbelievable. I mean, just this morning I was researching some information about a particular artist's baby face of mine, and I found so much information it overwhelmed me.
And that's almost in every category. The only thing all you have to do is to click in the information, search for it, and it's all available there. That's the internet for us.
That's right.
Okay, very good. And of course, gentlemen, we're making preparations for our first commercial break, after which we will come back and continue our conversation dealing with the internet and the digital divide. But in the meantime, let us have our first commercial break, and we'll be back with our audience following this short break. To Mr. Collier and Mr.